just finished washing my hands because it's time to do a little bit of Christmas cooking in the kitchen with Captain Starlight. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and welcome to Cooking with Captain Starlight. Today we're going to be doing some Christmas cookies, my favourite. Now, there's a few ingredients that you're going to need. Pretty easy to find stuff, so ask mum or dad or a grown-up to help you find these things, and you can work together in the kitchen to make your own Christmas cookies. First thing we're going to need is 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. We're going to need some white sugar, some vanilla extract. Vanilla extract, it's a bit hard to say. We're going to need 1 egg, so we've got some eggs right here. We've got flour, we've got baking powder. Baking powder, not baking soda, because they are different and different things. We've got some table salt, and then for a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit once we've finished our cookies, some icing sugar. We're also going to need, of course, a mixing bowl, a rolling pin, which is really good for making a little bit of noise in the kitchen. Some measuring cups and spoons, a spatula. I think this is to pretend to be a fly. If you want to pretend to be, see what a fly? I think that's what it's for. And also the favourite thing that Captain Starlight has given me permission to use, an electric beater. So, we're going to get our ingredients, we're going to put them in the bowl, we're going to mix them up, and then we're going to turn them into cookies. But there is a process to this, because cooking is like science. There's a certain way you're going to do it to make it perfect. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven to 180 degrees, which we've already done in the other room, because we did it before. That's what pre means. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix our butter and our sugar together in a bowl. We get to use the electric beater for this. So we need 125 grams of butter, so that's 1/2 cup. So luckily this butter actually has it measured on the side, so I'm going to do a little bit with my knife. It's already nice and soft, this butter, so it's easy to cut. We're going to plop that in the bowl, just like that. Then we're going to put in our sugar. Now the amount of sugar we need is also about the same, about 1/2 cup. We want this to be very sweet, so I'm going to measure this out using my measuring cup. Okay, fill it up. Nice and level. We don't want to go too crazy with the sugar. And then we're going to put that in there, and we're going to use our electric beater to mix it all up. Alright, here we go. Start nice and slow. Whoa! A little bit noisy and a little bit messy, but that's all part of the fun, really, isn't it? Now that we've done that, we want to add the egg and vanilla extract. So once again, we're going to beat it until completely combined. So we want 1 egg and 3/4 of a tablespoon of butter. So I'm going to try that very specifically. So this is 1/4. So I'm going to put in 3 of these tiny things because you don't want it to be overwhelmingly vanilla. That will just be a little bit extreme. So we're going to get our egg, crack it. See, I did remember some skills. Okay, and then we're going to put in our vanilla extract. But I can't get the lid off. I need a new job. 1, 2, and then I'll put in a little bit extra there, so I'll just go a bit sparingly, and then there we go. That's about 3. Starting off slow. You don't want egg getting all over the place. And I'll tell you what, that's looking pretty good. Nice and mixed up. So, the next thing we have to do, once we've got that, we're going to add our flour, our baking powder, and our salt. So once again, we're going to make sure we measure these all out, just like it says in the recipe. Flour, we're going to go 1.5 cups. Tell you what, we're almost halfway there, which means we're just one step closer to this being cookies. Baking powder. And for this, we're going to put in a very specific amount, 1.38 tablespoons. Alrighty, and now we're going to put in our salt. Now, this is important for flavour, but you don't want to have salty cookies, so you want to make sure you get this right. This is about the same amount as we put in the baking powder, so again, a little measuring spoon back here. It's a little bit of salt. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start mixing slowly. This says to mix slowly, so I'm not going to put this on a crazy high setting. We're going to mix it nice and slowly until the flour is incorporated and it will be a little bit clumpy. Okay, so we're going for a clumpy texture here. So we'll start nice and slow. That's starting to look pretty good. It's definitely clumpy. Which is what it says to do. All that stuff mixed together. Now we're going to get our hands a little bit dirty, so make sure that you've got nice, clean hands for this, of course. And we're going to dust our surface and we're going to start rolling out our dough. Alright, so we're going to roll out our dough nice and flat, about the distance, half a cookie size, because it's going to rise a little bit once we cook it as well. So, now that we've made a little bit of mess on the table and we've rolled out our dough, what we would normally do at this point is we'll use a cookie cutter or a fun cookie cutter shape to cut out the shapes of our cookies. Now, we don't have any cookie cutters with us, so we're going to improvise a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I've got my spatula here that's got quite a nice cutting edge. So what I might do is I might just cut out some random shapes, maybe some stars, maybe some squares, and then what we're going to do, we're going to put them onto our baking paper, which is on our baking tray, and then we're going to put them in the oven. Okay, so now we've cut out all our shapes. As you can see, it's a bit of a mishmash of different shapes, but I think that's what makes it so fun and Christmassy. Now we're going to put them into our preheated oven, which is at 180 degrees, for about 10 minutes. So let's chuck them in there. We're going to have ourselves some delicious cookies. Ovens are very hot, so make sure you have a grown-up help you with this. Music, cookies, yeah.
One eternity later.
It's cookie time! Alright, so we've got our yummy icing sugar. And we're just going to give it a nice dusting over all of them and let it settle for a bit. And then, once they've cooled down enough, guess what? We get to eat the cookies. It's my favourite bit. Now I've actually got this cool little thing before, which I thought was to be a fly's eye, but I've discovered you actually put the icing sugar in here and it's a little duster. How good's that? That is the way to do it. So we use our spoon to kind of push our icing sugar through our little duster here to make it nice and even. Cover all of our cookies with a nice bit of icing sugar. Now, some slightly bigger clumps might come through, but you know what? We can smush them down. That's what the spoon is for. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be super pretty. We're going to eat them anyway. Either way, they're going to taste absolutely delicious. So there we go. They all look pretty good, pretty evenly dusted. All right, everyone, it is a moment of truth. Our cookies are dusted. They've had a little bit of time to cool down. Now we need to find out how we did. Okay, let's try it. All right. Ooh, I'm excited. Ooh, I tell you what. Made it pretty good, you guys. As you can see, this was pretty easy to make. I'm not a very good cook, but I was able to make it pretty easy with a bunch of simple ingredients and a few simple steps. And you got yourself some delicious Christmas cookies. So maybe get together with your mum, your dad, or whatever awesome grown-ups you live with and make some delicious Christmas cookies at home. Now, remember, don't talk with your mouth full. See you later.